Ms. Dillon, I appreciate your willingness to step forward and raise your hand to serve. You are all seeking critical leadership positions in a Department of Justice that is reeling and questioning the direction that it's being taken. Career prosecutors were fired for working on cases that President Trump did not approve of or like. Senior DOJ leaders in national security posts have been reassigned, and at the Southern District of New York and in the Public Integrity Unit, a half dozen prosecutors resigned earlier this month rather than carry out what they believe to be unlawful or unethical orders in the Eric Adams case. Ms. Dillon, if President Trump were to ask you to do something that you believed was either illegal or unconstitutional, what would you do?
Well, thank you for that question, Senator Coons. First of all, I have represented President Trump for 4 years in numerous different cases, and I currently represent him as a private attorney. And in all of those years, in multiple cases, in multiple jurisdictions, the president has never asked me to do anything that I found to be objectionable, immoral, unlawful, or illegal. And so I really can't fathom the circumstance that you're describing. It would really be hypothetical to me.
As I just conveyed, I don't think it's a hypothetical. You've got folks in the Public Integrity Unit and the Southern District resigning over what they believe to be an unethical and inappropriate order. And I put that exact question to your predecessor in the first Trump administration, Eric Dreiband, his first AAG for civil rights. He didn't call it hypothetical. He answered directly. He said every Department of Justice attorney swears an oath to execute and faithfully execute and defend the Constitution and laws, and it would therefore be appropriate to refuse to follow a directive of the president if illegal or unconstitutional. Mr. Dreiband, in exactly the same situation, answered the question, is there any reason you can't?
Well, Mr. Dreiband didn't have 4 years of representing President Trump as his lawyer, and so I would give him the grace of not knowing for that experience that I've had. And so I think that it is a hypothetical to me, and so I respectfully...
It may be to you, but sadly it is not to currently serving members of the Department of Justice. If I might, Mr. Reitz, in the exchange that was just held both between Senator Durbin and Senator Hawley and yourself, dozens of President Trump's executive orders have been blocked by federal courts in recent weeks, federal district courts, and a number have been reviewed on appeal. To your knowledge, has the administration complied with these federal court orders?
Thank you, Senator Coons. I have not been following the procedural posture of those cases very closely. Of course, I intend to do so should I be confirmed once I'm in the Justice Department.
You'll be centrally involved in those decisions, and part of what my colleague was trying to focus on was the tweet that you apparently posted in response to a decision you didn't like. The tweet said, looking for some Andrew Jackson level leadership on this one, Judge Yackel has made his decision, now let him enforce it. My colleague from Missouri suggested that somehow Senator Durbin was standing up for the Korematsu decision or standing up for the Dred Scott decision. And I think buried in what he said and in what my colleague said is clarity. What are the avenues appropriately available to a litigant, which can include the president or a department secretary? What are the avenues available to properly challenge a duly issued federal circuit or district court order? And is it ever proper to simply refuse to obey that order?
Thank you, Senator Coons. I'll answer your second question first, which is what I referenced earlier. There is no hard and fast rule in all instances in which a litigant must comply with all or some or various parts of a judicial decision. It is so fact, law, and case specific that one cannot speak generally.
In your view, do litigants before a federal court get to choose whether or not to obey a federal court order? They can appeal it, they can speak out against it, they can question it, but can they refuse? Could the President of the United States refuse, as a litigant before a federal court, refuse to follow that order, which was the key implication of your tweet?
So, generally speaking, Senator Coons, parties to a case are bound by a lawful court holding from that court. And as you rightly pointed out, Senator Coons, there are many different avenues to right a perceived wrong appeals, rehearings, various motions, et cetera. You're familiar with them.
I hope you will be clear in your service, since I recognize I'm nearing the end of my time. Thank you for that answer. I think all of us are holding our breath to see whether or not President Trump and those who will be advising him correctly understand what is a foundational principle of the rule of law.
Thank you, Senator
A litigant
Coons, for your
before a
brevity.
federal court may
Appreciate
appeal,
that.
may question, may challenge, but may not ignore a
Thank you, Senator
district court
Coons.
order.
We'll move to Senator Blackburn for her questioning.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and congratulations to each of you.